Our EBC correspondent in South Korea, Christine Jewel Uy, joins us live. South Korea saw a slight decline in new coronavirus cases, but cluster infections in Seoul and other regions continued to emerge, coupled with a rise in cases involving arrival from overseas. Christine Jewel Uy joins us live. Christine, hello.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Yes, Alma, so that is true. So as of today, March 30, 2020, a total of 9,661 confirmed cases of coronavirus are recorded in South Korea, with 158 deaths and 5,228 recovered patients. There was a slight decline of new coronavirus cases today, but there is a cluster infection in Seoul and other regions continue to emerge with an increased cases from arrivals in South Korea. According to the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or KCDC, today is the 18th consecutive day that new cases only reach about 100 or lesser. Because of the new cases contributed by arrivals in Korea, starting this Wednesday, the country will enforce a 2-week mandatory quarantine on all entries from overseas. All arrivals to the country, regardless of nationality, are required to stay in isolation for 14 days. Visitors without local addresses are to stay in government-designated facilities at their own expense. South Korea has been already enforcing both a 2-week quarantine period and virus tests for all long-term arrivals from Europe, regardless of symptoms, and those coming from the United States have also been required to self-isolate at home for 2 weeks. Foreigners who do not follow the self-quarantine rules without a valid reason will be immediately deported, and this is according to the health authorities. According to the Vice Health Minister, Kim Dang-lip, foreigners who leave their homes without notification will immediately be deported. The KCDC also said that fewer than 100 foreigners entering the country for short-term visits are expected to be quarantined at the facilities each day.
Okay, so Christina, you're still there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So President Moon Jae-in just said that South Korea will make an emergency cash payment to most families and draw up a second supplementary budget next month to ease the drawn-out economic impact of this outbreak. What can you say about this? Is this true, Christine?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, Ama. President Moon, after an emergency meeting with economic policymakers, said an emergency disaster relief payment, which is up to 1 million won or around 816 US dollars, would be made to all households except the top 30% by income. He also said that he would prepare another extra budget for parliamentary approval in April, and some small and medium-sized companies would be exempt from paying partial insurance and utility bills starting this month. The new package is the latest in a recent series of steps the government has taken to ease the pressure on our country. And also previous measures have included an interest rate cut, a 11.7 trillion won, which is around $9.54 billion supplementary budget, raising a cap on currency forward positions for banks, and a rescue package for companies totaling around 100 trillion won, which is around $81.6 billion. South Korea has largely managed to get an explosive coronavirus epidemic under control.
Yes, that's true. Christine, you have actually managed to get the coronavirus under control. No, it was just reported that the recovery rate this weekend topped 50%. That's fantastic. Now, health experts are noting that recently the nation has managed to significantly slow the number of new cases, and the country appears to have reined in the outbreak without some of the strict lockdown measures deployed around the world. Well, why is this? What did South Korea do?
Yes, Ama. South Korea developed testing for the virus even before it had a significant number of cases. That is why, if you remember, when members of a religious sect in Daegu started getting sick in February, South Korea was able to rapidly confirm that it was already COVID-19. South Korea's Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-hwa said that testing is central to the outbreak response because that leads to early detection. It minimizes further spread and it allows health authorities to quickly isolate and treat those found with the virus.
Okay, so also, is it true that another religious sect is under scrutiny for holding services for 200 church goers, and then 22 people were linked to this church? 22 people linked to the church have tested positive now.
Yes, that's true. So there's this another controversial religious sect in South Korea just has come under public scrutiny with a cluster of at least 22 coronavirus cases as some Protestant churches went ahead with worship services on Sunday despite a government order for social distancing. Health authorities have been tracing close contacts up to now of at least 200 churchgoers after a member of the Manmin Central Church in Seoul's Western District of Guro tested positive for COVID-19 on Wednesday. As of Sunday afternoon, 22 people linked to the church, including a female pastor, had tested positive. Infections occurred when about 200 members of this church gathered in early March to prepare video footage to use in online worship service in response to government guidelines for social distancing, according to the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Christine. It's good to hear from you. Keep the updates coming.
Yes, this is Christine Jewel Uy from South Korea. We live in interesting times.